everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now. And what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I want to talk about loneliness, feeling lonely after narcissistic abuse or when the relationship is over. Although this could relate to being in the relationship because for myself, I did feel lonely even when I was in the relationship, but it wasn't until the finality of it when I knew for sure that I was with a narcissist and that he wasn't going to change and that I had a new reality. That's when the loneliness really hit me full force. So I want to talk a little bit about that today. When you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you are in a relationship with a con artist, but you don't realize this initially. Initially, you believe that you are in a relationship with a good person, somebody that feels the way that you do about life, somebody that wants to be married, somebody that wants to have a successful future together, you want to have kids, somebody that loves you, wants to take care of you. You believe all these things because that's who the narcissist told you that they were. And you're not initially aware that you are with a con artist. It's not until later that you start to wake up. When you wake up from narcissistic abuse, it is really and truly like what I would imagine it would be like for somebody that was in a coma for, say, 20 years. Imagine that's you. You're in the hospital. You've been in a coma for 20 years. While you're asleep, life has gone on around you. So you wake up and it's a totally different reality. 20 years has passed by. Everybody else has moved on with their life. They're doing different things. They're married, or they have a career, or their kids are grown, whatever it is. And there you are blinking blindly against the light, aware that what the heck happened? How did this happen? You are so confused. That's exactly what it's like when you wake up to the reality that you are with a narcissist, that your life has been a sham, a facade. You were duped, and you get angry and you're scared, and then you're lonely. By definition, loneliness is a state of solitude or being alone. But what that really means is you are in deep misery. You're depressed. You are aware of the pain of your life. Humans are social creatures. We want to be around other people. We want to share a life with somebody. And just as a woman, I know not all women are like this, but as a woman, I wanted to be married. I wanted to have babies. I wanted to live my life with my husband by my side. I wanted that American dream, a house in the suburbs. That's what I wanted. That's what I always wanted. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to lovingly raise my children and do things with my husband. I never expected to be rich, but I thought, we could go on a vacation every year, have our own home. If it worked out, I could stay at home with my kids. And that was the future that I wanted. Now, when it comes to my husband, he told me that was the future that he wanted. But I now realize that was never what he wanted. He wanted to be married because he wanted somebody to take care of him, and he wanted somebody that he could blame when he messed up, which he inevitably did because he's a covert narcissist. Now, all narcissists mess up things, and they don't play nice in the world, and they're not good spouses, they're not good parents, they're not good children. That is reality. But my familiarity is with the covert narcissist. And covert narcissists are utter failures in life because they don't have any drive or ambition. Some narcissists are very successful and they plow through life. And not that it makes it better for you if you're with an overt narcissist, because whatever type of narcissist you're with, you're going to be living in hell. That's just facts. But when you're with a covert narcissist, not only do you have to deal with the reality that your life has been a sham, but likely the covert narcissist has destroyed your life financially as well. They've caused so many problems, and years have gone by that you can't get back. My husband is a complete financial failure. So not only did he hurt me by being a liar and a con artist and sham me and hurt me, and he was a horrible father, he's also, I was a stay-at-home mom because that's what we both wanted. Now I've lost almost 20 years of working, and he has not left me financially secure at all because he's a covert narcissist, and that's what they do. He has constantly gotten into credit card debt, all types of problems. He's a walking disaster. So not only that, but he's also, as a narcissist, he's emotionally vacant. There's nothing there. And he doesn't pretend anymore. Not that I want him to. I mean, the reality is I'm awake. He can't pretend. And I wouldn't want him to. That's the thing. What I would want, if I could have something, it would be that I could go in a time machine and go back and change things. And that's a difficult thing because I have 2 children that I adore and love more than anything in this world. So that's a difficult thing because I think I wouldn't have my children. I need to have my children. They were meant to be born. I adore them. But it's traumatic. It's a horrible situation. And the loneliness is overwhelming. And it's not just loneliness, but you feel angry and powerless and you feel betrayed. And then life has gone on around you. So like me, I'm a single mother. I can't believe that. That's a shock to me. I never thought this would be my life. I believed, and it's tragic to look back and think about this. I believed so strongly that I never had to worry about divorce, that my husband was a solid man, because he told me this. He told me he doesn't believe in divorce. He probably would still tell me that, actually, if I was able to ask him this today, because he wants to move back into the house. We're separated because I won't let him live in the house. He wants to live in the house. Now, he doesn't want to live in the house because he wants to be a great father and a great husband. He wants to live in the house because he's homeless, and it would be better for him to live in the house. When at the end of the day, what narcissism is somebody who is completely self-focused. They have no ability to care about anybody else. There's no chance of that. And I don't want to make these videos and make it seem like, one, like I'm a really bitter person and that I'm exaggerating, or that, things could get better for you. I want to be realistic because I understand. I know what it's like to be with somebody for so long and want them to change, to believe in the best in people. I'm a religious woman. I believe that anybody can change. I believe that anybody could be the best version of themselves. I don't believe it's ever too late. I don't think you reach an age where, well, it's just too late for you. The problem with the narcissist, though, is that there's nothing there to change. They are evil. Personally, I believe that they are demonically possessed. I really believe this. If you look at in a narcissist's eyes, there's nothing there. They're vacant. They're hollow. They're missing every part of themselves, every good part of themselves, everything that makes somebody a human being, that loving part. It's crazy to me to think that a narcissist doesn't even care about their own children. My husband and I brought children into this world, these perfect little creatures, and they were completely dependent on us, and we raised them. And now I look at it and I realize I've been a single mother for a long time. But these amazing children, and he never cared. He doesn't care. He doesn't feel like I want the best for my kids. I want to do anything. Like I watch a lot of inspirational YouTube videos, and I watched a video one time, and there was a guy, and he said that he was going, I can't remember if he was with his family or if he was by himself, but he was on a plane, and he walked through the first class section, and he walked all the way through, and he was sitting in the back, and he thought to himself, wait a minute, my family should be sitting in the first class section. My family deserves the best. I want the best for my family. And then, he worked really hard, and then in a couple of years, his family was sitting in first class. That's the type of life I aspire to. That's the type of person I want. I want somebody that's a go-getter, that wants to look at their family as, my family deserves the best. Not that we're better than other people, but that, I want somebody that wants to do the best for their family. I want to be able to give my kids the best in life. And I'm not just talking about financially or materialistic, material needs. I'm talking about, I want to be the best mother I can be. I want to give them everything they need emotionally. I want them to grow up to be strong, independent, good people. My husband never felt that way. He would go along with me when I would say that. So that's the thing, a narcissist will always con you. They're like little parrots. They'll parrot back to you what you say. So it's not until you are wide awake, when you wake up from that coma and you realize it's never going to be this way. He's never going to be this way. And so feeling lonely is a natural thing that happens, but it's a cruel thing that happens because you're so aware of all that's going on around you. Like for me, everybody that I know is married. Now, I do realize that who knows what's really going on in somebody's house. Like even, people might have looked at me or my marriage and think, oh, she's so lucky. Who knows? But I do know that everybody I know is married. And it was last week, it was just, this is the type of thing that happens to you. My kids had some friends over, and when their friends were over, and they had 2 sets of siblings over. So their parents were doing a date night while their kids were over at my house. So it's just the cruelty and unfairness, the dichotomy of what life could be, what I want life to be compared to what my life really is. So while my kids are having fun with their friends over, and I'm so glad they did, their parents were out on a date night, and I was sitting at home alone with my dogs making a YouTube video about having an unavailable spouse. It's just, I'm trying to make the best of my situation because I don't have any other choice. I can either be overwhelmed by the reality of the situation and be depressed and not be a good mother, because I'm all my kids have now. They don't have a father. I see now, I actually spoke to my pastor about this, and he said to me, he's like, Sharon, you've always been a single mother. He's never been there. So that's how it's always been. And just that reality, I knew he was right when he said that, but it smacked me across the face. The reality, how I was living one way and reality escaped me. I was blind to it. You're blind, and that's like where that coma analogy comes in. Life goes on. So now I'm in my 40s and I'm alone. And I think, am I always going to be alone? Because my worst fear is being this lonely old lady without anybody to be with, and I know it's unfair. It's so cruel. And so narcissism, it just keeps giving to you, it's given you a horrible experience while you're going through it. Then you wake up to this reality and you're lonely and you're scared and nobody's there to help you. Everybody else has their own families. Now I'm in my 40s, I'm middle age. What does that mean? What man am I going to have now? Everybody else is married. I'm going to have to be with somebody. I'm not going to have my top pick anymore. I'm going to have to find somebody that's divorced or widowed or something like that, and maybe that will work out and maybe I can find somebody and that would be wonderful. But my kids are getting older and I don't, I feel bad for them because I feel, am I going to just be this drag on them? We don't have a supportive family. I don't have a lot of people out there. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. My goal with these videos is to help people. And I want people to understand that people do understand. I understand. I don't want my kids to grow up and move out and then they have their lonely mom, and they get married and they're married into a family where there's loving spouses or people that are connected and with each other. And they have a father they don't see who doesn't care about them. And their mother's like this lonely old lady, trying to make ends meet because I've been a stay-at-home mother. And now I'm going to have to suddenly go out and figure out a way to raise my kids, take care of myself. Narcissism is your worst nightmare. So I understand. The loneliness can just be very overwhelming sometimes. You're suddenly living, you're thrust into the world as somebody that you don't want to be. And I guess my point in this video is that you can only try to make your life better. You don't have a choice. It's a blessing that we are not narcissists, because at the end of the day, my husband is never going to change. He's going to be a narcissist until the day he dies. He's not going to enjoy his children. He's not going to enjoy grandchildren. He's not going to have a happy life. And I know that, and the spiteful part of me is happy about that. But I don't want to be a bitter person. I don't want to be somebody that just feels happy if somebody else is miserable. But I guess I'm just not at that stage yet. But I just want to tell people, if you're lonely, you're not alone. Like I said earlier, the definition of loneliness is a state of solitude or being alone. But there are other people out there that understand. There are other people out there that are lonely too, that are hoping that things get better, hoping that their life improves. And I have to believe that it does. I do believe in God. I believe that God is out there and that God is watching over me. And I'm hoping that this trial ends soon, that I can have my happily ever after. It's just not going to be with my husband. So thank you for watching this video, which has turned out to be a rather long one. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate people being there, and I really hope that I can help somebody. Feel free to email me, and also I have Instagram. It's those things are listed underneath my they're in my bio, I guess. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see everybody in the next video. Bye bye.